Welcome to the Grief Guardian podcast. I am your host, Grant Cosgrove. During this podcast series, I will be guiding you through the hardest journey, life after losing a loved one, empowering resilience, healing, and hope, one step at a time. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about models of grief, the 5 stages introduced by psychiatrist Elizabeth Kübler-Ross. You've probably heard of them: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, but understanding them and actually going through them are 2 very different things. Now, before we get too clinical, let's keep it real. Grief isn't neat or linear. You won't check these off like a to-do list and magically feel better. But understanding the stages gives you a bit of a map, and when you're lost in the dark, even a rough map is better than no map at all. Let's break it down. In her book On Death and Dying, Kübler-Ross outlined 5 stages of grief. Denial, where you just can't accept the loss. Anger, where your pain starts to boil over. Bargaining, where you try to undo the loss. Depression, where the weight of it all hits you. Acceptance, where you begin to live with the reality. Now here's the kicker. These stages don't follow an exact order, and not everyone experiences all of them. You might bounce between them, skip some entirely, or circle back multiple times. That's normal. What are the signs and symptoms of each stage? Denial. When denial kicks in, you'll probably feel numb or like you're in a dream. You'll find yourself thinking, "This can't be happening," or "They've made a mistake." This is shock doing what it does, protecting you from being hit all at once. Your brain isn't broken, it's just buying you time. Anger. This might look like snapping at people over tiny things, or not so tiny things. You could find yourself raging at the person you lost, at God, or even at yourself. Here's the deal. Anger isn't bad, it's energy. You just need a safe way to let it move through. Writing it out on paper helps. Blowing up at your partner doesn't. Trust me, it causes more damage than you want to deal with later. Bargaining. Bargaining is your brain's way of trying to undo the pain. You'll find yourself thinking things like, "What if I had done X differently?" Or, "Take me instead." Or, "I'll do anything to change this." It's irrational, but it's part of the process. It's your heart trying to get a handle on something that doesn't make sense. Depression. This is when reality sets in. You stop hoping the phone will ring or that they'll walk through the door. That pit in your stomach? The fog that makes it hard to get out of bed. That's grief turning into depression. And it's brutal. You'll feel like you'll never get out of it, but you will, slowly, and not alone. You've got to reach out and do the basics. Eat real food. Avoid garbage that messes with your mood. Sugar crashes and chemical highs don't help when your emotional reserves are already running on empty. Acceptance. Now we're not talking about getting over it. That's nonsense. Real acceptance is about facing life with the loss as part of your story. It's where you figure out how to carry on. Some days you'll still cry. Some days you'll get hit out of nowhere, but you'll also have days where you laugh and remember them without falling apart. If you've lost a child, say their name. Speak it often. It hurts, but it also heals. It keeps their spirit close and honours their life. These stages were originally linked to people facing their own death, but they apply to all kinds of loss, whether it's losing a loved one, a relationship, a job, your health, or even your identity. The cause may differ, but the emotional roller coaster is very similar. The impact of grief isn't just emotional, it's physical, mental, spiritual, relational. You might notice brain fog, exhaustion, gut issues, anxiety spikes, disconnection from others, even full-on existential crisis mode. You might feel like no one gets it, and sadly, unless they've been through something similar, They probably don't. That's why communities like this podcast matter. What are some coping strategies for healing? Let's keep it practical. Write. Vent on the page instead of at people. Eat clean. Junk food messes with your mind. Rest. You're processing more than you know. Talk to someone, a mate, a coach, a therapist. Say their name. Keep their spirit close. Give yourself permission to not be okay. Revisit stages as needed. You're not failing, you're just human. Whether you're stuck in denial, drowning in depression, or just exhausted by it all, know this: you're not alone. You're not broken, and you're not crazy for feeling this way. Grief is messy, but together we can face it head on. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, follow the Grief Guardian podcast so you never miss a new episode. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this content, please follow me on my socials. You can find me on Facebook as The Grief Guardian and on Instagram as Grant_A_Cosgrove or by searching for The Grief Guardian. I'll include the links in the show notes. Feel free to reach out and connect with me or leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. Are there any topics you'd like me to cover?